Aladdin is in the private chat. If you
Yeah,
want.
he's here.
Oh, is there? Let me bring him in.
Oh, I can share the screen if you want, brother.
Yeah, let Aladdin
Okay.
speak. I think he's here. So Aladdin, the mic is yours. What do you have to respond to whatever we've said so far?
Well, hello everybody. Good evening. I don't feel well, so I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
It's almost 11:30 p.m. here. Actually, I didn't watch the entire presentation, just part of it. Everything in and out, in and out. Uh, uh, what's his name? I'm sorry. What's the name of? Yeah, Ready to Reason. You brought up 2 points that I heard, and I would like to ask you a question about them, if it's okay, please. You said one of the most important verses. You said one of the most important verses is John 3:16. You quote John 3:16, which I memorize more than I memorize my own name. God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son. Now, you as a Christian, can you have salvation without your God killing innocent Jesus in barbaric way on the cross in the name of love? Or He has to kill innocent Jesus for your salvation? Can you have salvation without killing innocent Jesus? Or He should be killed in a barbaric way on the cross and cursed Him?
Yeah, that's not the way.
So I'm asking a question. Can you have salvation without killing innocent Jesus in a barbaric way on the cross? Or your God has to kill Him in a barbaric way on the cross in the name of love for your salvation?
Do you want me to answer? Yeah, okay. So basically, I don't think I can have salvation without Jesus dying on the cross on my stead. Yes, I don't think I can have salvation there. Yep. Is there anything?
So you are telling me that Jesus should be killed in a barbaric way in the name of love for your salvation. So you are telling me that your salvation is based on killing an innocent person in a barbaric, ugly way on the cross in the name of love. And without killing such innocent person in a barbaric way and cursed him, you have no salvation. So your salvation is based on a crime, killing an innocent person. That's what you are telling me.
I brought up the verse before, right? Should I bring that up again? In John 10, verse 17 to 18, it says, "The reason my Father loves me is that I lay down my life only to take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have authority to lay it down and authority to take it up again. This command I received from my Father." This is what Jesus says. He says that He is the one that lays down His life. He is the one that takes it up again. He does it out of His own accord. Nobody has pressured Him. Nobody has, nobody has, in a sense, manipulated Him into dying on the cross or forced Him against His will, but He did this out of His own will. So I don't, how you're framing it in the way you're wording it is that, oh, this innocent Jesus, He was just put on the cross without His consent and He was forced to die for the sins of people. No, God doesn't have to do that. God doesn't have to die for our sins. Because we're not owed anything from Him. He could just wipe us out. Instead, He chooses to love us and come down and do that for us. It's not something we're owed, but it's something that God gives us.
Mr. Ready to Reason, I hope that we can speak 1 minute, 2 minutes. I mean, exchange the mic. I don't need to preach.
Yeah,
you don't need to. I just ask you a simple question, and your answer says that your salvation is based on killing an innocent person. Then after that, you said that Jesus laid down His life. But do you know what is the meaning of? Do you know? I will mention a Greek word. Do you know what is the meaning of this Greek word, which means Didomi. You notice didomi? It's a Greek word. Didomi is in John 3. Okay, you don't know. Do you know?
No, I've not studied Greek, so no.
Okay. John 3:16, it says, God gave Jesus. Gave means didomi. So Jesus,
I think the word he's talking about means one's own, idios or idiom.
Can I finish, please? Young Christian, if you don't mind.
So, sorry, I was just trying to give you the word, but go ahead.
I read it to reason. So the verse says explicitly and clearly, God so loved the world that he gave. So Jesus was giving by the Father. He did not give himself. He was giving by that. The clear is verse is explicit. God so loved the world that he gave. So it's God who gave Jesus to his enemy to be killed. Now, he was killed against his will. That's another topic. I can show it out of the Bible later on. Now, you said that...
Show John. Show us the proof. Wait, hold on. Show us the proof. Hold on. If you make a claim...
You know, I'm talking, you interrupt me.
If you make a claim, you need to prove it. Wait, hold on. Ready to reason, just show your verse in John 10 that Jesus Christ gave himself out of his own accord. And you ignore that verse and stick to John 3:16 and say, oh, Jesus Christ, he died out of his own will. Well, you need to prove that.
I was coming to the verse that he quote, but you interrupt me. You see, I was coming to the verses that he quote, but unfortunately, you don't have enough patience. So you jumped over me and you interrupt me, and you did not allow me to continue. If you have patience, you would have listened to me quoting the verses that he quote. You see? So just be patient, please, and let me continue with him. Now, you said that Jesus laid down his life. So are you trying to tell me that when Jesus laid down his life, that Jesus committed suicide on the cross? He killed himself intentionally? That's a suicide. So you're telling me that Jesus committed suicide on the cross by laying down his self on the cross. So what do you think of that, Mr. Ready to Reason?
Firstly, I would like to answer that. Firstly, that when you say that God gave Jesus, that does not exclude Jesus giving himself up as well. And here's the thing, with regards to the suicide, if you were to take the basic definition of suicide, which is the act or an instance of ending one's own life voluntarily and intentionally, yes, you can take that to be suicide. However, in a general context, what suicide is that you end your life out of desperation. What we see Jesus do is not that he ended his life because he was depressed or desperate, but that he gave himself up for us, which you can see like many people even have done that. For example, someone in the army who's serving their country, if they die in war, they've given up their life as a sacrifice for their country. That doesn't mean they're committing suicide. They might as well definitely know that they might not make it out of the war, but they willingly lay down their life. Are you going to say, oh, so this person committed suicide? Are you going to insult your own countrymen who died for your sake and say that they committed suicide as well? Because that's how we can continue with that kind of logic and that kind of wording.
Mr. Ready to Reason, why have you done this to me? Why have you done this to me? Will you answer me? Mr. Reason, why have you done this to me? So when I ask you such a question, does that sound that I am happy with what you have done to me, or I am not happy with what you have done to me? Of course.
What have I done to you?
No. I'm just giving you an example. If I say, why have you done this to me? So does it sound that I am happy, satisfied with what you have done with me, or I am unhappy? I'm complaining about it.
Yeah.
What does it sound like? It sounds like what?
Yeah, I understand where you're going with this, but you know what? I will continue with your reasoning. It sounds like you're complaining. Yes.
Very good. So when I say, why have you done this to me? That means I'm not happy with what you have done to me. Now, you give a very good definition for suicide, but you contradicted yourself in your explanation. Now, why have you done this to me? I'm complaining. Exactly like what Jesus did when he was on the cross. He was complaining. So if Jesus went to the cross willingly, as you said, and he laid down his own life, he would never complain. Why is that? Because in Matthew chapter 27, verse 46, Jesus says and shout, Ili, Ili, lema sabachthani. That means, my God, why have you forsaken me? So he was calling his God and he was asking God, why have you left me? Why have you forsaken me? So does that sound like he really wanted to be forsaken, or he was complaining to God for forsaking him? Exactly what I said. Why have you done this to me? So Jesus was telling God, why have you done this to me, God? So he doesn't sound like a person who really wanted to be crucified. Even if you read in Matthew chapter 26, verse 39, Jesus said, shouting, let this cup pass from me. Yet, can I finish, please? Yet not as I will, but as you will. So we have two different will here. The will of Jesus is to let this cup pass away from him. Your commentary said this cup means either crucifixion or death. So Jesus told God, let it go away from me. I don't want it. It's not my will. It is your will. So let your will be. So we have here two will. The will of Jesus that he doesn't want to be crucified, and the will of the Father who wants him to be crucified. So Jesus said, let it be your will, even though it's against my own will. He even repeat this again in Matthew chapter 26, verse 42. Jesus said, oh my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, they will be done. So he still doesn't want this cup. He doesn't want a crucifixion. But if you want to do it, I have no other choice. Let it be. He said it more clearly in Luke chapter 22, verse 42, saying, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. He doesn't want crucifixion. Nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. So his will not to be killed, but it's the will of the Father. More clearer verse in John 8:40, Jesus didn't want to be killed. He told his enemy, why you have to kill me? Why you want to kill me? He said, but now you seek to kill me. John 8:40, Jesus telling his enemy, why you want to kill me? I don't want to be killed. Why? Because I am a man that have told you the truth, which I have heard of God. This did not Abraham. So he's telling them that I don't want to be killed. Why you have to kill me? See, so those are some verses prove to you that Jesus didn't go to the cross willingly. He didn't want to be killed. We have two different will, the will of the Father and the will of the Son. The will of the Father is to kill him. The will of the Son is not to be killed. And he was crying on the cross and telling the Father, why have you forsaken me? Why have you done this to me? So what can you say about this, please? Thank you very much for letting me speak for 3 minutes. I appreciate that.
No worries. Okay, so firstly, when Jesus says on the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me? Oh wait, is he not here? Well, should we wait for him to come back? Or
Yeah.
I just want to say really quickly, he just machine gunned the machine gun strategy with like 4 verses,
Yeah.
like the same strategy in Zechariah.
Yeah.
A few moments later.
Oh, he's back.
oh,
He's back.
okay, that's great. Good to have you back.
I'm sorry, reason. I had some technical problems. All of a sudden,
okay.
laptop shut down everything.
That explains.
I do apologize.
No worries, brother.
I listen to you.
Oh yeah. So basically, the point that we brought up to your question was, one, Jesus on the cross, he wasn't complaining to God, because you can see that in the old, he is quoting the Old Testament right there. Psalm 22. I'm pretty sure I'm not the first Christian you brought this objection to, and people would have definitely told you that when Jesus says, my God, why have you forsaken me? it's quoting Psalm 22. Psalm 22 reads, one second. Even he who cannot keep his soul alive, a posterity will serve him. It will be told of the Lord to the coming generation. If you read the whole Psalm 22, it talks about how this person is crying out to God and he is in the rush of death. His hands and feet are being pierced, his garments are being divided. We see all of this being fulfilled in the Gospels during Jesus' crucifixion. If you were to quote this passage, and if you take the whole Bible in context, you have to see that Jesus quoting this psalm. Again, it's a practice of rabbis to quote the first few lines of a passage to refer to that passage. And Jesus also was a rabbi, so he's quoting the first line of the psalm, and we see this whole psalm fulfilling in the crucifixion of Jesus. His garments were divided up among the guards. His hands and feet were pierced, and it talks about how the tongue is clinging to the jaw, which happens when your mouth is dry. And Jesus said he was thirsty, and he was given gall to drink. So this is actually a fulfillment of the prophecy of Jesus' crucifixion. If we were to state that, there's no other way we can truly interpret this. If you were to only take this out of context, you can say that Jesus complained.
So, can I speak now?
Yeah.
Okay. You see, you said I take things out of context at the end, right?
Yes.
You accuse me.
At least out of context in the sense that it's not taking into context the whole Bible.
Okay. Now, let me show you that you are the one who quote text out of context just to suit your needs. You quote Psalm 22, which I'm aware of very, very well. Even though you did not read it for me, I know what does it say. And I studied Psalm 22 from a Jewish perspective and a Christian perspective. Jewish context and Christian context. And the last video actually I uploaded in my channel just 2 days ago about Psalm 22. Now, you said that Psalm 22, what happened when Jesus shouted, it's a prophecy fulfillment. When you come to the Jewish and you read it in the Jewish perspective, that's what happened. Psalm 22 in the Jewish Bible has 32 verses. In a Christian Bible, it has 31 verses. Psalm 22:16 that you quote, they burst my head and feet. Christian Bible is Psalms 22:17. In the Jewish Bible, Christians misrepresented and corrupted the verse. They changed like a lion, my hands and feet. They changed it to burst my hand and feet. So it sounds like it is prophecy and a crucifixion about Jesus. If you read the verse in Hebrew, the verse it says in Hebrew, Kisavovuni kalvim hadas Miriam, hikuvomin kariye yudai riglai. That's the verse in Hebrew. I just read it for you from a Jewish perspective, a Jewish sources. Now, if you come to the Jewish Tanakh, Psalms 22:17, which is 16 for you, this is what you read in the Jewish sources. If you want me, I'll give it to you in a private chat. You can open it and you can read the Jewish link, which is Chabad.org, the biggest Jewish link online that give complete interpretation for the Jewish Tanakh. And you read several interpretations, especially the interpretation of Rabbi Rashi. If you read in the Jewish Tanakh, Psalm 22:17, which is 16 for you, this is what you read in English. For dogs have surrounded me. A band of even those has encompassed me, like a lion in my hands and feet. If you come to the Christian Bible, they said, they burst my hand and feet. What happened? The word like a lion is karyeh. The word in Hebrew burst is karu. So they sound the same. And they are almost written in the same way. So you changed the word ka'ariye to the word ka'aru, or you translated the word ka'ariye to the meaning of the word ka'aru to sound like it's a prophecy about Jesus. If you read actually in the same chapter, 22 verse 13, you read the same word, ka'ariye, and you translate it correctly like a lion. But in 22:16, you change it from ka'ariye to ka'aru. And also you read in the Jewish Tanakh the same word as well. Where do you read? Let me quote you there. Yes, in Psalm chapter 28, 22 verse 8. It's also used the same thing, but was translated correct. Now, if you Christian believe that Psalm 22 is about Jesus, verse 8 prove that Jesus is not God. Because verse 8 said, he trusted on the Lord. So he's not Lord. So Jesus is trusted on Lord according to you. So this is an evidence, if you will accept it, that Jesus is not Lord. So what you have done here, with all due respect to you, you've read the Jewish Tanakh in a Christian context. If you go to Rabbi Rashi commentary, he said, like a lion, my hands and feet, as though they are crushed in a lion's mouth. And so did Hezekiah. Then he referred you in his commentary to Isaiah 38:13, where he says, like a lion, so it would break my bones. So Jewish commentary is telling you this is about Hezekiah. And they refer you to Isaiah chapter 38:13, where Hezekiah said, it will break all my bones. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the Jewish interpretation. So what you have done, with all due respect to you, you corrupted the Jewish Tanakh. You read the Jewish Tanakh, Hebrew Tanakh, in a Christian context and perspective to suit your needs. But you can never read it in a Jewish context. I'll post you the Jewish link in a private chat. I hope that you can open it, if you don't mind, and share the screen. So me and you together will read what the Jewish says, what Rabbi Rashi said about this verse. It's in private chat. If you are interested, open it, put it on the screen, and I will show you where did Rabbi Rashi says all those things, and you will read it from a Jewish perspective, according to the Jew, not according to the Christian. I hope that this answers you. Thank you for not interrupting me. So what can you say about this?
Raise your reason, if you don't mind, can I address this?
Yeah, I mean, sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I want to say is I don't think Ready to Reason mentioned Psalm 22 simply to say Jesus fulfills it. I think the point he was making is that that's what Jesus is alluding to when he says, my God, why have you forsaken me? So that's going to be point number one. But then you said that the Christians corrupted him. And it said,
young Christian, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Okay, just a second.
You were not
about 5 minutes. Can I?
You are not listening to him, because all his answer was only Psalm 22, and he read the entire Psalm 22, and he concentrated on Psalm 22:16. He said, they burst my hand and feet, and this is a fulfillment of a prophecy of Jesus when he said, Eli, Eli, lema sabachthani.
Yes.
That's what.
Okay. So
I was answering Psalm 22.